Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, in your first online biology lesson, you will learn about the structure of human heart. As you know very well that this human heart is the component of the cardiovascular system, which is the mean of the transportation in human body. So students, we can define the heart that it is a completely muscular organ. Due to the muscular nature, it can contract and relax, and the relaxation and the contraction of the heart is resulted in the pumping of the blood, which is the mean for the transportation of different kinds of materials, including the hormones, enzymes, the food nutrients, the waste materials, and the gaseous materials. So, the human heart is a conical, hollow organ located behind the sternum in the thoracic cavity. So, this is about the location of the human heart in the human body. So here in this figure, students, you are watching the basic structure of the human heart. First of all, we will start with the protective layer of the human heart, and this is known as the membranous sac, which is called the pericardium. In between the pericardial membrane is the pericardial space, which is filled with the pericardial fluid. So here you are watching the double membranous pericardium, which is enwrapping the whole structure of the human heart. So human heart is four-chambered, the two auricles and the two ventricles. So here in this figure, students, you can watch clearly these four chambers of the heart. The upper two chambers are called the auricles, which are thin-walled chambers, while the two lower chambers are called the ventricles, which are the thick-walled chambers. So here, these are this one and this one. These are the two auricles, and these two below, these are the two ventricles. So if we divide the heart into the upper and the lower portion, the upper portion of the heart consists of the two auricles, while the lower portion of the heart consists of the two ventricles. As we spoke of earlier, students, that the auricles are the upper chambers, while the ventricles are the lower chambers. The auricles are thin-walled and are separated by inter-auricle septum, and the ventricles are thick-walled, which is separated by the interventricular septum. So these two septa are actually dividing the two portions of the heart, which are considered as the right and the left portion of the heart. Now students, look at the figure and watch another division of the heart. If we divide the heart into the left and the right portion, instead of dividing the heart into the upper and the lower portion, we can divide the heart into the left and the right portion. So in the left portion, here you're watching, this is the left portion and this is the right portion. So according to this, there are two chambers in the right portion. This is known as the right atrium as well as the right ventricle. So this is the right atrium and this is the right ventricle actually. So this is making the right portion of the heart. While if we talk about the left portion of the heart, so this is making the left portion. In the left portion, like the right portion, there are again two chambers which are known as the left atrium, and this is the left ventricle. So this is the division of the heart into the right and the left chambers or the portions. Now after watching the right and the left portion of the heart, see that what kind of blood is present in the right and left portion of the heart. Actually, the deoxygenated blood is present in the right portion of the heart, while the left portion of the heart is containing the oxygenated blood, which is coming from the lungs. So this is the right portion of the heart, and you can see that this is containing the deoxygenated blood, and this deoxygenated blood is coming from the various parts of the body into the heart through this vena cava. This is the largest vein of the heart or the body, and there are two portions of this vena cava. This is the upper portion, which is called the superior vena cava, while this is the lower portion of this vena cava, which is called the inferior vena cava. This superior vena cava is actually bringing the deoxygenated blood from the upper portion of the body, while this inferior vena cava is bringing the deoxygenated blood from the lower portion of the body. So now when the blood is becoming oxygenated with the help of the lungs, it is coming into the left portion. So this is the left portion which is containing the left atrium as well as the left ventricle. So this deoxygenated blood, sorry, not the deoxygenated, but the oxygenated blood is coming from the lungs in through this pulmonary vein into this left atrium, and after the left atrium it is moving towards the left ventricle, and from the left ventricle it is coming into this portion which is called the aorta. This is the largest artery of the body. From here this oxygenated blood is pumping to all parts of the body. So this is the overall structure of the human heart. So here again you are watching the theoretical illustration of for the structure of the human heart, that the right auricle receives the impure blood from the different body parts through the two large veins which is called the superior and the inferior vena cava. The left auricle receives the pure blood from the lungs by the pulmonary veins. Another important thing about the structure of the human heart is the presence of the semilunar walls. These semilunar walls are present at the opening of the pulmonary artery and the aorta, and these both openings are guarded by the semilunar walls. So the semilunar walls prevent the backward flow of the blood from the pulmonary aorta and the artery to their respective ventricles. So another type of walls which are present when the blood is entering from the right auricle into the right ventricle, or when the blood is leaving the left ventricle and coming into the left ventricle. So the right auricle ventricle wall is known as the tricuspid wall, and the left auricle wall is known as the bicuspid wall. Why they are called the tricuspid and the bicuspid wall? The reason you can watch in the figure, that the tricuspid wall is made up of the three flaps of the muscles. That's why this is known then as the tricuspid wall, while the bicuspid wall is made up of the two flaps of the muscles. That's the reason it is called the bicuspid wall. So students, this is all about the structure of the human heart. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.